in August of 2001, I went home to visit my family. My brother was going back to college. I went back to visit, and my mom woke up with one of the worst headaches of her life and had a massive stroke. Um, and it happened in front of me, and I was not a physician at that time, obviously. And when that happened, she went into a coma. She had a hemorrhagic bleed and went into a coma, like right in front of me. And as you can imagine, my dad was on a business trip. My brother and I were there, and we got to the emergency room. And it's funny, as a physician, I look back at what happened now, and I'm like, there's just a number of little miracles that happened in order for her to still be with us. But we went to the hospital, and we had to make a decision on whether to put her on life support or let her go. And I think for me, that whole experience, obviously just even the trauma of that, but even beyond that, I stayed by her side and I took care of her for the year that she was in the hospital. And also, I mentioned the August 2001 for an important reason. It was in New York, and it was right before September 11th. And my mom ended up getting moved out of an inpatient ICU to a rehab hospital because they were clearing the hospitals on September 11th to be able to to accept. And she was in a rehab hospital much earlier than she should have been. And so I ended up actually helping a lot with taking care of her. And I think that's when I really fell in love with medicine. And it was a rehab hospital. And it was that to me was like life-changing in the sense that I, for the first time, while my parents wanted me to be a doctor, I, for the first time, understood when medicine can work together, what it can really do, and the impact it can have on someone. And after that experience, when I went back to Disney, it just wasn't the same. Like, I felt like I needed to give back and do something directly to give back, which is when I decided to go back to medical school. And so, as you can see, and that kind of led to my path now. As you can see, that my family had an immense impact on my life for a number of reasons. And if it wasn't for my mom, and there's multiple ways that my mom has influenced me over the years, but that obviously was a big part of my story.